Hi everyone. On our review of what we did on Saturday, or what Macbet did on Saturday at Ipswich, the Ipswich Cup meeting, um, from the word go, we were sort of pretty much not going to play real heavy. We were concerned about the track, and you really need to nail down the bias on this track before you start betting. So we were going to go very easy early, and then and see what we could do later in the day. First race of the day, we didn't play. We the race gave us a good idea of how the track was going to play, though. So the first race, we got our map a little bit wrong. We didn't have Secret Harmony going forward out of the gates, and I think from the 5 gate, I thought she made a blue there. She was gone on the corner though, gone a little bit quick. Uh, we gave it a chance. We also gave one down the bottom, Fleur de Rage, a bit of a chance as well. It ran on to second, but we didn't bet. In the second race, again, we didn't want to bet in this race. It was a poor race. William Wallace, we got it wrong. We thought it was going to get back in the field, which it did, and it was going to give him too much start, but it was able to round this field up. It was a pretty ordinary field though. They put a stack of money on Oberha. The horse did improve. He went forward a bit closer to the speed than we had it, and they nearly got away with the money. But as far as Macbet goes, we didn't do anything in that race. The third race, another race we stayed out of. It was a terrible race. This one we had no interest in at all. Lord Coconuts was able to get up on the inside. Steeman didn't go too bad, number 6. In race 4, we didn't know what to do with Reveneur. I thought it was disappointing in Sydney, but it found a very weak race. Now, there's a few horses in this race that didn't improve, which we gave them improvement. They didn't get anywhere near the figures that we gave them. Horses like Saxton Rock, Bring It Home Pop, those two horses just didn't shine at all. Bring It Home Pop, but I'm not ruling it out in future. It's a nice type of horse. I just really was waiting for that horse to have blinkers or winkers on, and it'll go a lot better. In race 5, we played here. We backed Sundance. We thought it would be able to get into the right spot. We were going off a wet track run probably 2 seasons ago. But we made a mistake because that day there was very much a heavy bias to the leaders, and even though it was wet, this horse was able to go through it, but it had that bias tacked onto it. So I don't know whether this horse really handles the wet. It's a big chunk of a horse, and those sort of type of horses don't usually handle wet tracks. I'm not saying that it won't win its next start or the following one. I think it'll take improvement for it, but I'd be looking for it on a drier track. Alisac, we threw something on it as well. It just worked too hard. It was out wide. Disappointed I didn't throw something on With a Promise. We had it shorter than the market, or a lot shorter than the market, but it's one of those horses. She's only a little thing, and you're sort of waiting for it to go off, and that's how I had in the back of my mind. It was sort of, it might have needed a spell, but just keeps on doing what it does. Race 6, we had a nice result here. We backed 2 horses, War Baby and I Feel Good. War Baby, we were thinking that it just improves out of sight on wet tracks, and it did the same, and it just blew this field away. She's a light little thing. Over this distance, I think she's going to go over to the 2400 next time. I think she's got a chance as long as the track's wet, because she's very fit and going well. I Feel Good did a good job. I thought Larry Cassidy was going to get himself in a little bit of trouble on War Baby, because I Feel Good sort of got up on the inside of it and was travelling better than it, I thought. And then Cassidy he did the right thing. He came to the outside and just sprinted quickly, and I Feel Good couldn't just get momentum up. But War Baby, all honours with it. Race 7, we liked Jumbo Prince. It just didn't come up. The winner Self Sense, it did what it can go. I don't think it's anything special, its win. It looked very, very impressive, but I think there's a lot of horses here that have gone backwards. Like Benzini it carried the big weight. It had to work around and wide and just plugged away down the straight under the big weight. And Jumbo Prince, I think the Eagle Farm Track last start just knocked it around a bit because it was very flat. And those two horses were able to run second and third, so they did get beaten a long way, but I think they raced very flat, both of them. So all honours to Self Sense, great ride by Michael Carl. It was a really good ride. Race 8, we... what did we back here? We backed a few here. We backed Snippets Land, Handfast and Akatur. I think Akatur should have won for sure. Just had no luck down the straight. Lloyd's getting himself in a little bit of trouble at the moment. He's sort of just doing a few things wrong. A few months back or a month or so back, everything he did was right, and now he's just starting to run into a bit of trouble. He should have won, got held up down the straight. He should have come to the outside if he could have, and just looked for runs a bit too much. Handfast, we had a good bet on it. It was around about the 25 to 1 mark, and it come into 9s. It was a bit disappointing, even though he was on the inside railing up and not a lot of room. I don't think he might have only got beaten a couple of lengths if he got clear running. So he went okay, but nothing out of the box. Snippets Land, Damien Brown just got himself into trouble. He was looking for runs, but there wasn't any runs he couldn't come to the outside. He was going to, and then all of a sudden he was following horses that weren't going anywhere, so he came back to about mid-track and he just had no luck. We had a good bet on it as well. It was around about the 25s into a $12 or $13 as well. So we had no luck in that race. Then we came to the last. We liked Maternal. It was around about $6.50, $7 in the morning. It was just great odds. It firmed up into the $3, $2.90 mark, even into around $2.70 on one of the totes. So it was a nice result. I was just worried about Lloyd pushing forward. I didn't think he'd get to second, that's for sure. I thought he might have got into about 4th or 5th position. But once he got to second, the race was all over. He went okay, the horse. A couple of horses made nice ground on him. I didn't think they would have been able to get near him, and they did at the finish. So it's an okay win, but I would have expected him to win it by a bit more. Band of Spice, we had a lot short of the market. I was a bit worried about this horse. I didn't know what to do with it. We threw something on it, and it went good. Chased well down the straight, so it's one to follow. Another horse we threw something on was Queen of Wands. It got back a long way. Just a little bit interference in the straight, but just went fair. All in all, we won something on the day, so hopefully everyone, the Macbet followers, got something. We'll see you next week at Eagle Farm.